Yeah, they move it around.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Spiritual Spotlight series. Today, I'm joined by Dr. Marcia Martin. She is the heart healer. She's a spiritual empowerment counselor, metaphysical minister, best-selling author, public speaker, and clairaudient angel communicator. Thank you so much for coming on the Spiritual Spotlight series. I'm so happy you're here.
Well, thank you so much. I'm delighted to be here.
I love that. So, we're just going to jump right in. So, what led you to become a spiritual empowerment counselor and clairaudient angel communicator? Was there maybe a pivotal moment that set you on this path?
You would think that, hey, I wanted bright lights and, angels coming in my
Yeah.
room at night when I could see that, no, it was just recognizing, hey, I've always talked to myself
Yeah.
throughout my life and gotten this really incredible advice.
Yeah.
Now I'm recognizing that's not me. It wasn't me just having this lovely little interaction with
Yeah.
myself. It was me receiving information that was so much more profound than what I was going to
Yeah.
be able to come up with my by myself anyway. So it was more of a gradual understanding
Hmm.
rather than wonderful hearts, flowers, lights, trumpets,
Yes.
none of the good stuff. It was just that's what that is.
Yeah.
But that having that available, and we
Hmm.
all do, it doesn't matter which sense you use. So
Right.
you may be able to hear them, to see them, to feel them.
Right.
We all have a form of communication, and it is active all the time. It's up to you how much you open to it.
Hmm.
So, how much they can, I don't want to use the word interfere, but they need to interfere in my life. But how much they can be part of your life, how active they can be. So I remember in my early days of teaching, I had left and gone to a different state, so new school, and just was really having a rough go with disliking myself and just so down on myself. And so that was one of those times when they came forward with information that helped me turn those children's life around when I didn't even realize that they were the ones who were
Wow.
helping me. So this happened to be a class of children who had been identified as likely to fail on the end of grade
Oh.
test. And they're in third grade. So I remember that first day with them thinking, I got this. This
Yeah.
is going to be an easy year. I'm really good at encouraging people, but they taught me something new, which is I started with a very simple lesson. I thought if they can understand that they can get it right with this easy stuff that belonged in first and second grade, then, it's going to be just a piece of cake to introduce grade level things because they are going to see that they're capable.
Right. Nope.
Nope. They were so convinced that they were failures that even though I was handing them work, like, did this demonstration on the board, and then
Yeah.
here, your worksheet, so I can tell you all how amazing you are, and you can show me how good you are at this. No, they all turned in work that was so terrible. I was like, oh,
Oh.
whoops, whoopsie. And I remember this one little guy came up to my desk and I said, "Oh, hey, how do you think you did?" And his little head is hanging down and he's got his pencil in one hand and his paper, and they're all almost dragging on the floor. And I'm thinking, this doesn't look too encouraging. Oh, wasn't quite the start that I was hoping to have for
Hmm.
the year. And he said, "Well, I already know I failed." And I thought, blank. First of all, my regular brain just went
Right.
blank. And then suddenly I'm getting this guidance of help him start over and get it and get the right answer. So I got a big eraser and we erased all of his problems. And I'm saying things, nonsensical things like, "Oh, it looks like you were just so smart that you got ahead of yourself. And I think these answers are in the wrong place. It looks like it's all right, but it just seems to be wrong. Let's, I
Right.
mean, in the wrong place. Let's just start over so
Yeah.
you can show me how smart you are." And I'm thinking, oh, whatever, I'll just say anything at this point. And so, we start and I'm feeding him information so that he can begin having the experience of getting the right answer. And part of me is like, I don't know why I'm doing this, but you know what? It just seems like,
Yeah.
okay. And then they tell me, now, for every right answer, get a really colorful marker and put a C on it. He's never seen correct C. He's seen X or, you know,
Right.
just a red mark on his
Right.
paper. He's never seen that he can do something well. So I start putting C's on all of his paper, showing him, look, this means it's correct. Wow, you are so smart. See, I told you you had the right answer. It was just in the wrong spot. Well, we're working down our paper, and finally we get to the last one. And I thought, okay, I gotta give him a chance. I gotta just send him back to his desk,
Right.
make sure he understands what we have done together.
Right.
And I hope that all of this getting it right reinforced enough so that he can do something on his own.
Right.
So I remember this was God and I had parted ways at this point. I was just like, you're a mean person in the sky
Right.
that's waiting for me to screw up, and I'm screwing up every second. So our relationship is not very good.
Yeah.
And it was based on my old religious upbringing, which had only been on Sundays and had never been really personal.
Hmm.
So I'm just like, oh God, get in the corner. I don't even want to think about you. I'm just so consumed with how I'm screwing up my life.
Yeah.
So the prayer was, God, you don't have to ever give me anything again in my life if you will just let him get it right, because I need to feel good. And this is my job. And if I can't do my job well,
Mhm.
I can't feel good.
Yeah.
So please let him get it right. So he comes back. I've held my breath the whole time. He comes back, and hallelujah, he's gotten it right. So then they tell me, oh, put 100 on his paper. I'm like, okay. I'm just kind of like,
Sure.
right,
Yeah.
ready for any ideas because mine had fallen flat. So I'm
Right.
like, okay, get out another marker, put 100 on his paper. And they say, why don't you give him an A plus too? Like, okay, A plus. That little guy went from two,
Oh, I love this.
and he says, as loud as he can, I got 100?
Oh.
Like, yes, you did. You earned it. You got every single one of these problems correct. He's still big eyes.
Hmm.
I've never gotten 100 before. Okay, my heart is, I cried. My heart fell on the
Right.
floor. And then the whole rest of the room was like, hey, he got 100. I want 100. We all started doing our papers over again until we
Wow.
could earn 100.
Yeah. I love
It
this.
completely changed the way they learned. They were able to pass their end of grade tests with an 85% or better.
Nice.
And the changed taught me so much about fear. It
Hmm.
was it changed the way they learned. They came in afraid they were going to fail. They left believing they could pass, and they lived up to their belief system.
Yeah.
As long as they believed they were going to fail, they did. As
Wow.
soon as they believed they were going to pass, they did. So it then took me at least another 20 years to put that into practice in my life.
Right. Right.
But it was so fundamental it was the way I raised my children. I
Mm,
just couldn't forgive myself yet. I
right.
hadn't gotten into the darkness far enough to believe I needed forgiveness. So I was still had the whip out for myself, but I applied this to my children, and they are the most confident little beings. They're not little anymore, but they're the most confident beings in the world.
I love that.
So it's never too late to start. Just begin from wherever you are to say, hey, you know what? I have unlimited chances to get it right.
Hmm.
So it's okay for me to try. I can try something new. I can try to redo something old that I'm still interested in. I can try revamping my whole life. It is never too late for me to begin to try.
Right.
And I have unlimited opportunities and divine support because there's
Absolutely.
no one on this planet, no one, no exceptions, that is without divine support.
I
So
love
if
that.
you, one, give yourself that opportunity to try again and again and again, no matter what has happened in the past, but to say, okay, it's time for me to change the way I believe or my belief structure
Hmm.
about what my capabilities are.
Right.
So I'm going to just begin again with this understanding that I can do it. And number two, I'm going to allow the divine to guide me. So I'm going to take away this fear that their intervention means I no longer exist.
Mm,
That was the other thing that it took me a while to learn.
right.
Because that idea of I've got to surrender to the divine. I was like, no, I'm not surrendering to
Yeah.
anything. No thanks.
Right.
It doesn't mean you give up you. You just say, yes, I would like some help. I'm open to answers. It's
Hmm.
still up to you to put it into action. It's still up to you to be open to receiving. It's just you saying, I don't think I know everything, so maybe I could really use a suggestion here
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
and I'll listen. And you know what? If they suggest something you don't like, you're still in charge. You don't need to take their suggestion. However, I gotta tell you, do it the easy way. If they tell you put 100 on the kids' paper, just do it. It's
Right.
gonna change your life and their life.
I love that. So you kind of touched on this a little bit. Can you explain how your angel heart healing technique works and how does it differ from other healing modalities?
It is that changing your belief structure, but it is leaving the brain alone. Just let go of this. Now, I come from a psychology background. So, as I said, it took me until I was in my late 40s to get to the idea that the brain was not in charge.
Hmm.
I had spent my all of my schooling up until that point and all of my career worshiping the brain. Ooh, if I can just get the brain to cooperate, or if we can put the brain into this zone, it will be okay. What they taught me once I stopped fighting
Hmm.
their support, what they taught me is it's the heart.
Yeah.
Now, Carl Jung said it so perfectly so long ago, but we just sort of gloss over it in the psychological circles, and we give, yeah, yeah, he was great, and then we go back to the brain. But Carl Jung said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will rule your life and you will call it fate. Well, what controls that unconscious being? Not the brain. The brain is all worried about what's going on in the past or in the future or perhaps in the present. But it's not paying attention
Hmm.
to that dialogue that you've got going on under the surface that is deciding which way you're going to steer your ship.
Right.
And that is what the heart healing technique addresses. We go into the heart where you have stored these traumatic events or these this belief structure or
Mhm.
this generational way of doing something.
Right.
And with the support of the angelic community and the ascended masters, the
Mhm.
whole spiritual community, and different ones show up according to what you may be wanting to address.
Right.
With their support and with the support of the Christ consciousness, which is love and acceptance, you get to look at what you may have been responding to or what belief you may be holding and choose whether or not you are ready to let it go.
I love that.
So it is just such a loving way to say, well, you have believed that you're a failure since you were 5 and your teacher started telling you that you couldn't do well. This was the story of my third
Mhm.
graders who were now 8. And you are just carrying this failure belief forward. Do you want to hold on to that? Or
Right.
are you ready to see yourself as you truly are? Because you're not a failure. You're just confused about how to get things done or
Right.
how to allow information to come in so you have access to it.
I like that. So you kind of touched on this a couple times. You help people release their greatest fears. What are some of those common fears that you might see, and how do you guide some of these individuals through this?
That's a great question because, of course, failure is one of our
Yeah.
biggest things. Oh, what if I fail? But also imposter syndrome. What if I don't fit anywhere? Or being good enough, self-worth. These are things that we see over and over
Yeah.
and over again, and they always have an origin point. So the way we deal with it is to find the origin point, and I do that just through my guidance. They tell
Nice.
me where it is because it just makes the whole process quicker. So we go to that origin point. So it may be that you're an advanced soul and you're choosing to come into this life to guide those who may not have been quite as advanced or quite as spiritually cognizant as you. And so you came into this life experience all excited that you were going to help. And it's usually the older, you come in younger. So it would be your parents and perhaps your older siblings. You were going to show them everything that's possible. And you immediately run into the roadblock of, no, you can't. You're
Yeah.
not big enough. This is not right. You don't have the expertise. You don't have the skill. You get shut down over and over and over and over again until you become quite small.
Mm.
And so we have to go back and undo that time when you first got shut down, lovingly acknowledging that those who were shutting you down didn't understand who you are, what you came to do, didn't have the understanding that you do. And so they were guiding you in the best way they knew how. But it was quite damaging to you.
Mm.
And so we have to release that, forgive them because they didn't know, forgive yourself because you gave in instead of staying true to your mission, and then release that energy of, I just can't do it. I'm a failure. I'm worthless.
Yeah.
However, you are
Hmm.
saying it, you need to release all of that and then become reunited with who you are and your soul mission, your purpose in this
Mm.
life.
I love that. So
Because
you go ahead. Do you want to continue?
Well, I just want to say, otherwise, you have that disjointed feeling.
Yeah.
I know there's something that I'm supposed to be doing,
Right.
but I'm not good enough, or I don't know what it is, or I'm not skilled in any area. We make up all these excuses because the thing we came to do is just so seemingly far away from where we are.
That's a really good point. I like that. Yeah, that's a really good point because you do feel disjointed when you're not kind of in alignment with your purpose.
And it
That's
feels like, oh, I'm this speck and
right.
I have this big thing I'm supposed to be doing. Oh, I failed. It's just
Yeah,
over. I'm not even going to try. Maybe next life I'll get it. No, it's just stating you're out of alignment. You're not recognizing who you are.
right.
And from your misalignment, you are going after goals that don't even want, and then wondering why you can't achieve them. So let's release you from all these false beliefs and put you back on the path that supports your highest good.
That's really good advice. I like that. So something you touched on before that you touched on with your kids is about forgiveness. So you emphasize the importance of forgiveness. How can someone truly forgive themselves and others, even when the pain feels unbearable?
I think we need to understand, and the Ho'oponopono prayer does this so
Mm,
well. Although I teach people, if you're empathic, and most people on the spiritual journey are,
right.
you do not need to be running out saying, people, please forgive me. You need to
So true.
start start at home. Start
Right.
here and say, oh, I am so sorry, self, for all of those times that I pushed you in the corner, held you down when you wanted to fly, told you you couldn't get out of this box, tried to keep you small when you wanted to be big. Please forgive me. I am so sorry. And then your name or self. I didn't know. I didn't
Mm,
understand that we could be big, that it was safe for us to be big or to live our purpose or to be something more than those around us told us we could be. Thank you for loving me and for staying with me and not giving up. And, so often we want to commit suicide or just head out completely.
mm.
So thank you for staying with me through this journey and not giving up and allowing me to be here in this moment to fight again. I love you so much for having the tenacity and
Mm.
being willing to rise again, even though getting here has been a series of setbacks and disappointments.
I like that. Start with yourself, be gentle with yourself.
You first. I guarantee you might have five people that you need to offer forgiveness to, but you need to forgive yourself probably 500,000 million times
So
for all
true.
of the ways that you have not allowed yourself to be who you came here to be. Begin here.
I love that.
Allow this to be heard for the first time, seen and heard and appreciated, and then watch what happens.
That's so true. So you teach spiritual principles and universal truths. What are some maybe simple energy practices people can use to maintain their spiritual well-being?
I think, again, go to the heart. How are you feeling? Not what are you thinking? How are you feeling? Are you feeling good? Are you feeling powerful? Are you feeling, and powerful doesn't mean running over other people's opinions. Are you feeling empowered? Are you feeling as though you can inspire others because you are so overflowing with joy? If you can't answer yes to these questions, you must do some work on your alignment. Life is supposed to feel good. It is designed with challenges in mind because challenges help you expand.
Mm,
But if you are anxious, depressed, overwhelmed, thinking about suicide, believing that you're a failure, it is not that you're broken. It is that you are out of alignment with your divine truth. You are trying to be someone that you cannot be because it is not your path, and you're trying to pretend that feels good.
mm,
So, how do you feel? And this is especially true for those people who may have felt that burden of, well, dad was a lawyer, but I really hate the law. So I have to go to law school, but I hate everything about it.
right.
That is you not in alignment with
Right.
you.
Right.
It's lovely of you to want to honor your father,
Hmm.
but if your father or your mother, doesn't matter which one,
Right.
if your parents are truly honoring you, you can say to them, I can see that the law was really wonderful for you, but I feel called to, and explain to them what it is that you feel called to and why, and see if they are able to honor your path. If not, I would encourage you to go for your heart's
Mm,
desire anyway, because once they see that you are truly following your joy, that you're walking in bliss, they may be able to come over and get behind you. But
absolutely. Yeah.
being miserable because somebody else thinks that's a good idea is not going to light you on fire.
Not at all. That's I love that's such a good point. How some people feel forced into a career that doesn't make them happy. Like, do what makes you happy.
And you're going to be so much better at the
Right.
career that, because once you can get your heart in it, once it
Right.
feels good to you and you light up, you're going to be a change maker and an inspirer, a leader, an innovator. But slogging along on the misery path, well, you might get a paycheck, or you might just be on depression medication,
Right.
and who knows what kind of unhappiness you're going to have to contend with because you are not allowing yourself to honor this guidance. And
Absolutely.
I think it's so important to know that you are not, you don't make up these desires. The desire is a divine implant. It is the divine saying, here's your mission. This is what you came here to do. This is going to light you on fire.
Hmm.
You brought everything you need to do this. This is not you just waking up one day and saying, I think I want to be an actor. And you are the shyest, most reserved person and would just cringe at the idea of having to be
Right.
an actor. If you have a desire for it, you have brought the skills that you need, the natural talent, the uh, the excitement to be able to do it and do it well. And
Absolutely.
this is, it doesn't matter if you came with a physical or mental disability, you came with everything you needed to accomplish your life mission. There are no mistakes. It is impossible for you to get it wrong
Absolutely.
unless you say, I refuse to listen to my guidance and my heart, and I'm going to do this thing I hate because somebody asked me to.
Absolutely. I always say to my clients, God wouldn't put these desires in your heart unless they weren't meant to come true. So it's so true. That's so true what you're saying. I love it. I love
Yes, because
it.
that desire lines up with everything that you brought, the intelligence that matches that.
Right.
You've brought the interest in that area. You've brought the skills. You've brought that special spark that goes with that practice.
Absolutely.
Now, it's not going to replace perseverance, patience, practice. I mean, repetition and hard work go with anything. But I'm 5'1" and a few inches. Basketball is not in my future. No matter how much I want to practice, it's unlikely that I'm going to be able to compete successfully
Mm,
against people that might be close to 7 feet tall.
right.
I don't have any interest in basketball, but if my father were a basketball player and
Right.
that's all he ever wanted me to do, I might have gotten off on that track and found that, labeled myself a failure. Well, I'm just a complete failure at basketball. I obviously don't have anything to offer in this life, which is just foolish
Hmm.
because I didn't want it. Someone else wanted it for me. And to please them, I decided to want it too. So
Yeah.
if you can't go all in, don't go. It's not your place.
I like
And it
that.
is somebody else's. So let them
Absolutely. Yeah.
let them go there.
Absolutely. I love this. So if you could please tell us a little bit about your Heart Healing Foundation.
This is waking up in the middle of COVID and recognizing I need to be serving
Mm,
in a much greater capacity, and I can't do it if there's a price tag attached.
yeah.
So this was just another angel inspiration saying you need to trust that the people that need you will find you,
Mm,
A, and that the money that can support you will find you, B, and do it through a nonprofit. So now
nice.
we offer pay what you can
Right.
counseling instead of the,
A rate. Like, yeah, I love
yeah,
this initiative that you have. It's amazing.
here's what you have to pay.
Right.
We now have pay what you can. And I'll say to people, even if it's nothing, it's more important that you get the help now and that you honor us with payment later or some assistance later than that you sit in the corner contemplating suicide day after day and wonder why nobody is able to help you.
Yeah.
So we want you to get the help now. And you have skills we don't. For sure, you got skills I don't. We're still a very small organization. So you may be the missing piece that we've been looking for.
Right.
So please reach out, get that support. The only thing I ask is that you will allow me to introduce the angelic spiritual community to you. I
Right.
can't do this work without their support.
Of
So you
course.
are going to need to be open to working with them. But other than that, come, be supported. And then once you're back on level ground and starting to soar, you can help us.
I love that. I love that. It's such an amazing initiative that you have to be of service and and if like you said, maybe someone's coming to you for skills or, counseling and they get it and then they can in turn help you, which is amazing.
Absolutely. Or go help someone else. We
Right.
don't know the good that we can do when we help each other. And
Right.
I absolutely love the nonprofit world. I used to cringe every time I would have to tell somebody, and what's the fee? Oh, blah, blah, blah. Even though
Right.
it was low, I was still like, because they had just poured out their heart. Usually
Right.
their finances were in peril anyway, because you don't have to go through trauma
Of
and
course.
keep your bank account balance strong.
Right.
And so then I would think, and then I would end up saying, oh, it's okay. You can just come for free. And then I'm like, okay, well, that doesn't work either because
You,
now I have no way to
yeah.
get paid. So,
Right.
so this was like that happy medium that the angels brought to me finally when they saw that I was drowning in this impossible business model that I had created for myself.
Right.
And I would be okay if I just transitioned into nonprofit.
I love
So
that.
it's my very happy place. And it lets me do what I do best and offer what I consider life transformational support, but yet doesn't require someone who's already broken to break even further in order to get the help.
I love that. That's beautiful. Now, I know you want to share a technique with us. So before we go into that, if anyone's interested in learning more about you, what's the best place for them to go to?
Come to our website. It's thehearthealingfoundation.org.
Perfect.
And we have lots of free resources
Yes,
there.
you
So
have a
you
lot on
can
there. It's amazing.
you can just kind of spend hours deciding, hey, do I feel comfortable? Or you can fill out the form that will allow you to have a consultation with me that is also free, where you can ask me anything about this and decide whether you feel comfortable. Because I understand that this may not work for everyone, but if your heart aligns with this, please come join us.
I
The
love that.
more people that are feeling good, the better world I get to live in. So you're doing me
Absolutely.
a favor by coming over and
No,
spending time
I
with
love
us.
that. Now, to close this up, I know that you want to share a technique with our listeners. So take it away.
Okay. So this very beautiful technique came about because as empathic beings, and you are empathic if you are a giver, if it feels uncomfortable to some degree to receive, if you are always the most helpful person in the room, if you are highly sensitive to the moods of other people or to what you're feeling as you walk into a room, then you need something that you can do at no cost to yourself. Because too often I find that the empaths are rushing in to do a good deed when they're exhausted,
Mm,
when their bank account may be depleted, they're still trying to find $20 to loan a friend, when they already have a plate that's piled high with things that they need to do. So this technique is something, or they're reminding me, or when it's a hostile energetic
ooh,
situation and you have no business getting in direct contact with that
right.
energy. So this is a technique that won't cost you anything but a few minutes of your time. It will not expose you to their negativity, but it still is an opportunity for you to give something extremely valuable that can be life-changing. Now, everybody has free will. So we're going to offer this, but we can't demand that they accept it. So you are not in violation of anyone's free will, but you are offering something incredibly valuable. So we're going to do this in the heart. So let's close our eyes. And beginning with the breath, allow the breath to be your gateway into the heart. So fill your lungs completely, almost to the point of pain. Hold it for a moment and then release that breath. Empty your lungs fully. So filling up as much as you can and then emptying fully. When you take deep, conscious breaths, you signal to your body, all is well, and it is safe for me to relax. And when you are relaxed, you have easier access to your divine support team. So another deep breath. And let's put our attention on the energetic heart center. And that is located right in the middle of your chest. As you focus on this area, you may feel or be aware of a sensation, where you may feel nothing. It doesn't matter. It's there regardless. And all that is there is love and support. There is no criticism. There is no judgment. There is no censure. There's only love and support, because this is all the divine are. They are complete as love and support. So take a breath and welcome them. Allow yourself to connect. Just take a breath. Say yes. Yes. I welcome you. And now, just for your own safety and connectivity, let's imagine that you are now connected to the energy of the heart, and you see that there is a tube that's called the pranic tube that is running from above your head down below your feet. And we're going to move this energy. First, we're going to move it down through the pranic tube, and we'll just allow all of the chakras to be blessed. Move the energy down. It's just love and acceptance. It can only give good. And when we get to the earth, offer the earth everything in it and on it, love and acceptance. You're sending out beautiful healing energy. But don't stop there. Allow that energy to continue all the way down beneath your feet until you are deep into the heart of Mother Earth. Connect with the earth like you're putting on a seatbelt. Just allow yourself to connect in, to ground deep into the earth so your physical body feels stable. Now, again, release your love and acceptance. This is you helping the earth to heal. And now, as you give, you must receive. So receive from the earth renewal and restoration, because the earth is the best recycler. So she's recycling the energy of love and acceptance and giving it to you as renewal and restoration. So you become even more and bring that back up to the heart. So your heart space has already expanded. And now we'll move the energy up, up through the higher self point, blessing all of the chakras, right into the heart of the divine. And this is a gift of gratitude. This is you saying yes to guidance. So they take your gratitude, they add all that they are to it so that it becomes complete. And then they send it out into all universes, known and unknown. So this is you blessing the universe. But the most sacred portion of this energy that contains all that they are is coming directly down into your heart. To be your guidance, to be your support, to be your love, to let you know you are more than enough. And now let's use this combined energy to create a circle of white light. This is your spiritual circle. You are safe within this circle. Call yourself as you are into the circle. And now, when you're ready, notice that this circle is filled with all sorts of beautiful angelic support. You have the light of love, which is the energy of the Christ consciousness. You can feel that love and acceptance. Archangel Shamuel representing that unconditional love and acceptance of the divine, that powerful love and acceptance. You have Archangel Michael bringing you protection from the toxic energy that is created with our negativity of the world around us. You have beautiful Archangel Haniel bringing you hope, letting you believe that there is goodness and that you can access it. Archangel Uriel, the fire of God, burning up anything that is not in alignment with your highest good, creating you for you a space of purity. Saint Germain and that violet flame helping you to remain in this state of purity, purified from the toxicity of your past or any limiting beliefs that may not honor you in this moment, allowing you to step fully into who you are. And now they're giving you an assignment. They are seeing that you love helping, that you are delighted when you can be a gift to others. So taking that energy of the Christ, pink, unconditional love, and gold, unconditional acceptance. Imagine that you are taking these two strands of energy and you are knitting them together so that they become a blanket of unconditional love and acceptance. And if you have someone in mind that you know needs help, you get now to share that blanket with them. And if they are suffering from or challenged, or changing my words, if that person happens to be challenged by a health concern, weave in the energy of healing from Archangel Raphael. Or if they are challenged by money, bring in Archangel Jophiel and that beautiful, abundant energy of Lakshmi and that bright golden light so that they can have the energy of more than enough. Whatever it is that you know may be needed, or if it's just unconditional love and acceptance because you don't know, you can create a blanket that is any size. So it can be big enough for the entire world or just large enough for one person. Once your blanket is created, imagine the person is standing in front of you and wrap them in the blanket. They get to accept it or release it, up to them. But I always suggest that you wrap them in the blanket 3 different times. In case it feels funny the first time or awkward, try again. Maybe they'll accept it this time. They still shrug it off. Okay, try it again. If they completely reject your offering, I always ask that it go to someone who will accept it so that no blanket goes unused and that the blanket will become whatever the person who is accepting it needs most. So this means you can always offer a gift to anyone, anywhere, without putting yourself in danger. And this blanket is 100% effective because it is created with the energy of all that is. So go ahead and send your blanket off to whomever you think would benefit most. I think I'll send mine to the world this time. And then, whenever you feel complete, make sure you honor yourself by allowing yourself to receive that energy of love and acceptance. Just let it fill your entire being. It's your reward for being an amazing being of love. And when you're ready, take a deep breath and come on back.
That was very nice.
And you can get, as you get better at it, you can do it in a minute. Knit your
Absolutely.
blanket, off it goes.
I like that practice. That was very nice. I like the idea of knitting a blanket. I haven't done energy healing in that way before, so that was interesting. Yeah.
I just like having a visual with it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I work so much with the angels who send me pictures and words, and that I'm just realizing, and I started my career as an elementary school teacher. So, the
Right.
more visual or the more mediums we can work in at the
Mm,
same time, the greater the likelihood that we're going to be successful.
I like that.
So they usually give me things that have a lot of sounds and lights to them.
That's beautiful. Well, Dr. Marcia Martin, thank you so much for coming to the Spiritual Spotlight series. It's been a pleasure to talk with you today.
Thanks so much, Rachel.